Boar's Head is bringing a slice of Japan to the deli. Introducing Boar's Head Ichiban Teriyaki-style chicken. Tender, slow-roasted chicken breast, coated in our signature teriyaki glaze, where ginger, garlic, and a hint of brown sugar meet for a flavor that's both sweet and savory. New Boar's Head Ichiban Teriyaki-style chicken. The bold flavor of Japan. Now at the deli. Only from Boar's Head. Compromise elsewhere.
Blog Talk Radio.
Well, good evening, folks, and thank you for tuning in with me once again to another edition of True Conservative Radio. And, of course, I am your host, the man they call Ghost. And once again, folks, I want to thank you for tuning in with me, whether it's in the archive or the many people that are listening to me live right now. I want to thank you for your patronage. Before we get off on anything or any subject matter here on the program, I want to talk a little bit about the disgusting and despicable and pussy-whipped emails that I got from all these feminist bulldykes and these single mothers and all these supposed women's groups that thought that I was somehow misogynist or chauvinist in the last show. I took all kinds of crap because of my anti-Mother's Day edition of this program, and it didn't take but 24 hours to get my damn email bombarded by a bunch of hairy, arm-pitted muff divers who are so upset, who are so uptight, who got their garter belts up their you-know-where, because I show no sympathy whatsoever. No sympathy whatsoever to this ridiculous single-parent phenomena that we're witnessing right before our very eyes, and most of us here in America are just accepting as if it's the social norm, as if it's somehow natural. Now, for all you single mothers and feminists and all you people that are trying to write me up in the email address, trying to demand an apology from me, you're not going to get diddly squat, all right? And all you people that were offended by my damn anti-Mother's Day edition of this particular program, for all you people that got butt hurt, for all you people that got your feelings hurt, for all you people that are so uptight and, you just can't get any kind of sleep at night because I did that program, all of you people can chew on my meat bag. How you like that, you stupid silly asses? I can't believe that here we are, we're living in a current stage in American history where our future, America's future, is dwindling on a fine line, and yet what do we have here? We have a bunch of Nimrods, a bunch of hairy arm-pitted muff divers, a bunch of feminist Gloria Steinem worshipers out here writing my email address, bombarding my email inbox with nothing but a bunch of slanderous lies, a bunch of four-letter words, personal attacks, death threats, for heaven's sake. And let me tell you something. For all you death threaters out there, there's nothing worse I hate in the world than some, four-eyed, freckle-faced, beaten stepchild ass clown who doesn't agree with my political persuasion, somehow trying to grow himself some hair on his cojones, coming out here writing an email, attempting to try to get me a little scared with some sort of, ridiculous death threat of some sort. Let me tell you something, you stupid piece of crap. Let me tell all you people something that are out here getting all upset by my political persuasion, all you people that are continuing with the death threat emails. You're lucky. And by God, I am going to underline and underscore that once more. You idiots are lucky that you are not within my vicinity. Do you understand what I'm saying? You are lucky that you're not in the same room I am, because I would stomp your stupid, dumbass, liberal, long-haired teeth so far down your damn gullet, you'll be able to chew the ham and cheese sandwich that you had 3 days ago, you stupid, liberal, long-haired piece of crap. You scare no one. You think you're going to scare me with a couple of death threats? Tough titty, all right? I'm a conservative, damn it! I'm a conservative! You think I'm going to sit here and cower because a bunch of text chat email warriors out here are going to try to implement some sort of death threat on yours truly? You ain't doing crap. You're only fueling the fire. That's what you're doing. You're fueling the fire here. Because what you pieces of crap going to do? You're not going to do a thing. So just sit there and shut up and continue on with your entitlement-ridden, pathetic, sorry excuses of lives out there. Continue on with them. Continue on. Because that's all you got, you piece of crap. You're not scaring anybody. All you pieces of crap out there that are trying to send me death threats aren't scaring nobody. You're not scaring nobody, you pieces of crap. And once again, if you took offense to the post-Mother's Day edition of this program, well, you know what? Too bad. Just eat it and like it. All right? Eat it. Shove it down your hole. Choke on it, you piece of crap. Chew on it. Because let me tell you something. The things and the views and the ideas expressed in the post-Mother's Day edition, or in the Mother's Day edition of the True Conservative radio program, are very integral to our survival, are very integral to having ourselves as a community, as a American people, some sort of moral integrity, some sort of pride, some sort of dignity for our country, for our people. But frankly, folks, if you look outside, if you go walk outside your doorstep right now, you're going to find a lot of people, they don't even have any respect for themselves. These people don't have any respect for themselves. Half of these morons out here in America are already walking around half dead, for heaven's sake. And if you try to sit here and try to provide some sort of discourse about subject matters that can uplift them out of their pathetic, sorrow-filled, self-pity-ridden state, they're going to look at you like you just farted on their best suit or something. That's all they're going to do. And that's what's ridiculous, folks. That's what's ridiculous. I mean, this liberalism, it's just one of the most devious ideas of all time. It has not only been able to goof the minds of the simplistic and the derelicts and the morons, but it's also been able to anesthetize the realm of intelligentsia. It's been able to infiltrate the realms of academia. This crap is being taught in our universities on a consistent basis, that somehow we should be bowing down and worshiping Karl Marx. And I know that there's a lot of Nimrods, and if you're one of these Nimrods saying this, well, go screw yourself. I know there's a lot of Nimrods out there who are critical of me, thinking that I'm some sort of a hyper-sensationalist, that I'm blowing things out of proportion. Well, you continue thinking that, you stupid, sorry excuse for human flesh, you piece of stupid, pathetic piece of self-prostituting garbage. You continue thinking that and see how far that gets you, you piece of garbage. All right? You see how far that gets you. Anyway, folks, I want to hear from you, 646-652-4869. I know every time I put the number out or post the number out, I get a bunch of liberal longhairs who call me up in an attempt to try to, deviate the show into some other subject matter, because you see, folks, every time I broadcast, I attempt to yank the contradictions of liberalism and feminism right out in the open. And they're there, folks. If you look back in the archive, if you continue to listen to this show, they're there. The contradictions are there. I say them. I overemphasize them because it needs to be exposed, for heaven's sake. But is anybody listening, really, folks? Is anybody really listening out there, folks? I've been on here for 2 years. I've got a humongous base of loyal listeners out there. Now, whether these listeners that are listening to me on a consistent basis, whether they're liberals trying to get their rocks off by listening to themselves, trying to prank call my show, whether it's a bunch of mindless minions who are just out there waxing their carrot while I'm out here trying to provide subjects that are serious to their life and my life. That's why I say, folks, I love this country, damn it. Why do you think I get up on here? Do you think I'm getting paid for this crap? Do you think that Blog Talk Radio is kicking me a couple of thousand every damn month? Hell, no, they're not. They're not kicking me diddly, folks. I'm not doing this for the money. I'm doing this because I want the American people to understand that the times that we are living in currently, the present-day America is very important. And if you're just going to sit there on the sidelines and you're just going to sit there complacent, don't complain about what is going to transpire here within the next 4 to 5 years, folks. And we're already seeing the beginning. We're already seeing the beginning of some sort of makeshift authoritarianism, some quasi-communist socialist malarkey. We're already seeing it in current present-day America, but let me tell you, if you continue to sit there on the sidelines, if you continue to just sit there and think that just because you have your job, just because you're taking care of your family, that somehow you're going to be negated, somehow you're going to be an exception to the rule and none of this is going to affect you. It's going to affect us all, folks. And that's why I continue to do these broadcasts, because I'm trying to call you to action. I'm not like Alex Jones or any of these 9/11 truthers or any of these ass clowns in the damn alternative media out here that are basically feeding you a bunch of, overhyped, half-lie-ridden garbage just so that they can promote their next video, just so that they can promote their next book, so you can go out there and buy it. Because they're not providing any answers, folks. Nobody's providing any answers out here. And the answer is very simple, folks. Look in the damn mirror. That's the damn answer. Participate in your damn government. And that means at the very local level, folks. At the very local level. Go out there and run for something. If you don't want to run for anything, why don't you go sit on a city committee, all right? There's a whole bunch of volunteer committees, believe it or not, in your city, in your town, in your county, all right? There's a whole bunch of people out there that'll actually, a whole bunch of bureaucratic positions that people can actually go and apply for and actually hold seats. And these stupid volunteer little committees in communities all over America actually have the authority to do certain things in your community, folks. I mean, you need to look up on this. I advise you to go to your local city or your local county's website. Unless you're living in a damn igloo in, North Pole somewhere, your county and your city should have an official website. Go out there and take a look and see if you can participate in any kind of volunteer chairman activities or volunteer committee activities. Folks, because I guarantee you, these committees, these bureaucratic positions that are volunteer in nature have a severe influence on all of our lives, folks. They actually hold authority in whether parks get built, whether zoning things happen, whether, certain parts of town get, a certain chunk of the city's budget for renovation and potholes and all this other crap. But, folks, if you're not participating in this crap, if you're allowing some moron who doesn't really give a crap about anything but just, looking good in a makeshift social environment, he's basically or she's basically going up and applying to volunteer to one of these chairmanships to go get laid or something, well, then you're not going to have nothing accomplished, folks. And this is why our government is crumbling, because we have a bunch of bureaucratic, power-hungry autocrats that care nothing about you and I. Okay? No matter how much they put on the big smile, they don't care about you and me. What they care about is their campaign bank account. That's what they care about, folks. Because the more and more they accumulate in that bank account, in that campaign bank account, folks, once they are no longer a senator, a congressman, a president, whatever's left over in that account goes directly to them, tax-free. Welcome to America, folks. Everybody's out for themselves out here. So by God, folks, instead of sitting there complaining about it, go out there and participate in some of this crap. Do something. And if you're not going to do anything, well, you might as well get yourself prepared for, who in the blue hell knows, We might as well get a head start and start reading the damn Red Book, for heaven's sake. 646-652-4869 is the number to call here, folks. But we're going to go ahead and get into the crux of the program. I didn't mean to get in on that tirade there, but I know that I had a lot of emails from people who didn't really appreciate the anti-Mother's Day edition of this True Conservative radio show, but I really don't give a damn, all right? Chew on my meat bag, you stupid fruit bowls, all right? Now, what I'm going to get into here is the first subject matter on the docket here. We have come to learn, because the boob tube has highlighted it, and it's been all over the internet, and regardless of what avenue you obtain your news and information, it's come to light that we have had a soldier out in Iraq who has apparently or allegedly gone ballistic or crazy or whatever in the blue hell happened, but he somehow took a gun and killed his fellow soldiers. He killed 5 soldiers, wounded a whole bunch of other soldiers. And if you haven't heard about it, folks, it's a really tragic case. It's a slap in the face to America. It's a pretty big blow to America's morale when you have one of our own who are out there. Allegedly, the person or the man who did this rampage out there in Iraq on his own soldiers he was on his 3rd tour of duty. So this was a veteran, folks. He was out there in the dirt. He was out there, getting dirty, if you will. He was on his 3rd tour of duty, and apparently, according to the stories that I've read, he was at a location in the base in Iraq where he's supposed to get some sort of help for having battle fatigue or post-traumatic stress disorder or, being over-deployed, that sort of thing. So he was definitely already feeling the effects of battle fatigue, so to speak. So where this shooting happened was at a location in the base where a person can go and get help for battle fatigue. And I think it's very unfortunate, folks, that we have a soldier who has done 3 tours of duty, serving and protecting our country, having some sort of mental breakdown or whatever it is, shell shock, whatever in the blue hell you want to label it as, just decided, and I've read the reports, he muscled a gun out of somebody's hand. It's not like he just went in and decided to just shoot up the place. Something made this young man snap, and he fought a gun off of one of the soldiers' hands that were there, and he just shot and killed 5 of his fellow United States soldiers, folks. And this is a very serious story. And I know that the boob tube and the mainstream media are giving it a little bit of spotlight, but I think that we need to talk about it on a more serious basis. Because I think we should look at this particular case and other cases that we're going to talk about here in a couple of minutes. We need to look at these cases and figure out whether or not our military-industrial complex, which is funded, we could go into the trillions of dollars if we want to talk about funding for the military-industrial complex, and yet they can't implement a war in a proper fashion. Now, I'm not blaming any, particular branch of the bureaucratic system of the military-industrial complex, but folks, there's something wrong here when we have a veteran. This is not some moron that just got cold feet after he signed on the dotted line. He saw a couple, idiots with turbans, shooting at him, and he got scared, so he started shooting his own men so he can get the hell out of there. It's none of that crap. All right? This has nothing to do with that crap. This young man just snapped. 3 tours, folks. 3 tours of duty. And the man just snaps and kills 5 of his fellow soldiers. What's wrong with that picture, folks? Now, if we look at the international community and how it relates to America, we understand right now that we are in Iraq. We do have troops deployed in Afghanistan. And as a matter of fact, there was a suicide bombing just a little while ago in Afghanistan that killed a couple of troops. So they're starting to get riled up in Afghanistan. I don't know if you've heard the latest news out of Pakistan, but the Pakistan Army is trying to fend off the Taliban, which is not too far away from the damn capital of Pakistan, folks. You've got, we don't have an exact report on how many Taliban fighters, but allegedly it's somewhere in the range of 5,000 to 7,000 Taliban fighters that are trying to go in and are within close proximity of the capital of Pakistan. And we also have Taliban that are obviously implementing guerrilla war suicide bombing tactics on American troops in Afghanistan. Folks, what did I say? What did I say was going to happen? For all you folks that don't believe me, go back to the first show of this year, all right? The first show in 2009, and I predicted that this was going to happen. Once again, folks, one of my prognostications have come to pass, but it's nothing new. It's once again, I mean, I can pat myself on the back and say, yeah, great. Nobody's listening out there. Nobody cares. Anyway, let me not get off the subject here. We look at all this international turbulence, and then we look at the state of affairs of our military. And granted, we do have the greatest military hardware on the face of the planet. We got the greatest tanks, the greatest planes, the greatest helicopters and guns and combat boots and, all that crap. But frankly, we don't know how to deploy well, at least that's what it seems to me. I'm not trying to make a judgment call here because I'm not claiming to be a general. But frankly, folks, the way they have deployed these troops in these theaters of combat has been a tad on the irresponsible side. Excuse me. I'm getting a little tongue-tied here because this is a serious situation, folks. I mean, when our military is starting to lose its not only morale, but its mind, folks, we need to start talking about this crap. I mean, Obama's talking about, deploying more troops in Afghanistan and taking the fight to Taliban in Pakistan. So we're talking about escalating theaters of combat out here. I mean, it's been blatantly said on the media. I mean, Obama said it several times, even during the campaign. So we're going to expand the military theaters of combat. So where in the hell are these troops going to come from? Where exactly are they going to get these troops? It's bad enough that this young man who killed 5 of his fellow United States soldiers because, we don't know why to this day, but, I mean, I'm going to make a speculation. In my opinion, I think he was just shell-shocked. He was just battle fatigued, 3 tours of duty. And let me tell you something, folks, this isn't like old warfare. This isn't like back in the bush, in the jungles and that sort of thing. I mean, this is, martial law out there in the streets in Iraq, folks. This is not some sort of, cakewalk. That's why these guys are, really taking it very hard. You hear about the suicide rate amongst people who come back from Iraq. And the reason that it's so high, and the reason that you have, so many problems, pertaining to these veterans out here, because this is not a war that we have fought before. I mean, this is martial law, police state type of military tactics here, folks. You have to think, what is the American military's job in Iraq? Well, you got to secure the regions of Iraq so that the quote-unquote governing body, the new democratic government, can come in and actually implement its authority. The governing body can only implement its authority if it has the damn American military there to implement it. So, folks, the point is how do you do that? Well, you got to patrol the area. You got our boys out there, our men in uniform going out there, and women, men and women in uniform, going up and down these towns with M16s and, 203, grenade launchers and all the special weaponry, and they somehow have to decipher who is the person that is going to have a bomb strapped to their chest and who is the person that's in the window that's going to actually have an AK-47 pointed at them. I mean, they got to figure this out. I mean, they are in constant paranoia. They got to look over both shoulders. They got to look everywhere, folks. They got to look for landmines. They got to look for improvised explosives. They got to look for suicide bombers. They got to look for these terrorists using kids, using children. It's a sick environment to conduct any type of warfare in, folks. It'll make a soldier who is trained to go out there on the battlefield and fight. That's what our soldiers are trained to do. Anybody who knows a real soldier knows that they're trained to go out there and fight no matter what. Kill the enemy, no questions asked. But in this new war in Iraq here, this is military martial law police stating. And I don't think, a lot of these moron commentators out here are, trying to look bad upon all the suicides and, all the unusual mental behavior that's happening to our Iraqi troops. They're trying to frown upon it. And let me tell you, I'm not going to name any names. I'm not going to say anybody who's, made these comments. But I've heard and I've read personally where you have commentators and bloggers trying to question the testicular or intestinal fortitude of our troops whenever they come back and decide that they want to kill themselves. You have a lot of cases where they're killing their families or killing their wives. Why is this happening, folks? Well, I'll tell you why it's happening. Because this war that we have our troops in is not a war. They have to be prepared to kill anybody at an instantaneous moment. And what's unfortunate about those types of directives, the unfortunate part about following those orders, is that who in the hell's the enemy? Some idiot could come at a soldier kind of fast, and the soldier, being already apprehensive, who already lost a few buddies, is going to construe that as some sort of suicide bomber coming up to him kind of quick so he can blow himself up, shoots the man, and lo and behold, we have quote-unquote collateral damage. Folks, let me tell you something. I was for this Iraq situation at the time, but now that I've looked at how it was implemented, how the generals implemented, or Rumsfeld, whoever in the hell did all this crap, they did a horrible job, and now we're suffering the repercussions for it. And unfortunately, folks, we got Obama saying he's going to, take the troops out of there. We're just going to have to tuck tail and get out. Because what's the end, folks? Unfortunately, and it's a damn fact, that our troops have accidentally, whether intentionally or unintentionally, have killed innocent civilians in the process of policing these regions. And do you think these people are going to forget that, folks? Do you think these people are going to forget the fact that, American soldiers killed their brothers or sisters or fathers? Whether it's intentional or not, folks, I understand it's war. I understand what's going on. They don't understand. You take all those factors into account, folks, and I think this is what you have with this soldier who killed 5 of his fellow United States soldier and United States troops. This is what happened. All that exposure to, not knowing when the hell you're going to get blown up, not knowing when the hell you're going to get ambushed, not knowing if a kid that comes up to you is going to have a bomb to their chest, not knowing any of this crap. It would affect us all. And then, folks, when you take the person out of that constant paranoid situation and put them in quote-unquote real life or regular life or civilian life, whatever you want to call it, it's no wonder why they freak out. And is our military-industrial complex, holding any kind of responsibility to all this crap that's going on? Absolutely not. And I think it's a shame, folks. I think it's a damn disgrace. And at this point, folks, if these if there's going to be any more war pertaining to America, then there needs to be a damn draft. That's right, folks. I said there needs to be a damn draft. And I know there's going to be a lot of people out there saying, oh, Ghost, we can't have a draft. That's not fair. Well, I know it's not fair, folks, but do you understand that the young people and everybody in the country doesn't give a crap about anything but feeding their fat asses or obtaining materialistic widgets or going out and trying to appease the Joneses or trying to keep up with the Joneses. I mean, this is all people are worried about at this point. And you see, the last intellectual movement, and I don't even want to call it an intellectual movement because a lot of it was induced by the drug culture, but there were certain minds that came out of this particular culture that encapsulated a generation of American thinking at the time. And that time, of course, I'm talking about is the 60s and 70s. And at the time, the youth was getting all just outrageous. They were going out there protesting all over universities. They were going out there causing a ruckus, and they were expanding their minds or that crap. I want to expand my mind. They're expanding their minds out there. They were doing all this malarkey. But the reason that they were so inspired to feed their minds, the reason they were so inspired to know knowledge, the reason they were inspired to create this culture at this time in American history is because we had Vietnam. And in Vietnam, folks, we had, what was that? That's right, a draft. And all of a sudden, when people really didn't have a choice, you were going to go and that's all there was to it, all of a sudden people wanted to get a little bit more political all of a sudden. All of a sudden they wanted to get a little political. All of a sudden they wanted to know what America was about, our system. And unfortunately, during that time in the 60s, you had a lot of people susceptible to this Karl Marx crap. I mean, you had a bunch of leftist groups, unfortunately, that are in power today that spawned from that 60s and 70s generation that were inspired by all this Karl Marx rhetoric, folks. I think that, possibly, if we implemented a draft today, maybe our youth would be a little bit less, focused on going out and getting the greatest pair of jeans and getting the latest Xbox, the latest PlayStation, and all this other nonsense, and they'd be more worried about their liberty, their Constitution, their rights, their citizenship. That's what they'd be more worried about, folks. So anyway, going back to this soldier who killed his, 5 other of his fellow brethren because he kind of was shell-shocked or he just lost it. Well, I can't not like this young man. I can't hate this young man. All right? I mean, at first glance, most of the American people are going to look at this young man and, say, oh, he's a piece of crap. He killed, his fellow troops. He's a traitor. But how can you call somebody a traitor after 3 tours of duty? 3 tours. I just, you got to look at everything that's happened. I mean, we heard about, what was it, a couple of years ago, the incident where, was it Walter Reed incident, where you had soldiers coming back with blown up limbs and, severed limbs and that sort of thing, just being left in dirty conditions and makeshift operating equipment and that sort of thing. I mean, and this is the military-industrial complex. This is what our tax dollars are paying for out here. And then we have the Pat Tillman story. Another sad, sad American story, folks. I mean, it's just, there's nothing that disgusts me more than what happened to that true American patriot, Pat Tillman. I mean, what a shame. What a freaking shame. This is a young man who basically said it wasn't about materialism. I care about my country. I'm not going to sit back and watch my country be hit from the back and not have me doing anything about it. I want to participate. I want to do something. And by God, this young man, Pat Tillman, threw away a $3.2 million contract in the NFL with the Arizona Cardinals to go out there and join the Army Rangers so he could kick the crap out of the Taliban and Al-Qaeda's ass in Afghanistan. That's a patriot. And I don't want any of you people, anybody who's listening to this broadcast, don't forget Pat Tillman. Don't forget Pat Tillman. That's a patriot. That's an American. Don't forget that young man. Don't forget him. Because I sure as hell know that our military-industrial complex that is funded by our tax dollars wants to sweep his story under the table. It's a tragedy. It's disgusting. And then we wonder why we have this soldier that went ballistic and killed 5 of his fellow United States soldiers. Just look at what happened to Pat Tillman. It's a disgrace. It makes me sick. I can't believe people can sit back and just sit back in their fat couches and eat their stupid food and continue on with their pathetically useless lives, knowing that this young man, Pat Tillman, a true American patriot, who gave up $3.2 million to go out and fight for his country. I don't know how you people can just sit back and negate that, forget about that, put that in a closet somewhere. By God, don't forget Pat Tillman. We need more patriots like that young man. We need more patriots that'll go out there and commit themselves for the continuation of our Constitution, for the continuation of America. We need those patriots. And it's sad, folks. The reason I bring up Pat Tillman is because his parents actually want the record of the general who was in charge of the whole operation that had this poor young man killed because of friendly fire. The parents of Pat Tillman want the general reviewed. They want his record reviewed, and because there's speculation, allegedly according to this report, that this man was an incompetent prick. I mean, it's just a waste, folks. That's a waste of a good patriot right there. Don't ever forget Pat Tillman. Don't forget Pat Tillman, you pieces of crap. Don't do it. And don't forget these soldiers that are out there dying for your fat asses. Don't forget them. Don't forget them. You decadent piece of materialistic, fat jelly-ass crap! Don't forget them! Don't forget them, you piece of crap. Anyway, folks, I'm sorry for getting a little bit off keister there, but that's a subject matter that really affects me. You know, that really gets me deep in the heart, because it's a shame. It's just a damn shame. Anyway, folks, I'm going to move on to another subject matter. On the boob tube recently, we have NASA talking about their great Atlantis shuttle being blasted off into space because some stupid cosmonaut is going to go out there and do a damn spacewalk to repair the Hubble telescope. That's right, folks. While people are out here in recession, you got a whole bunch of, we're hitting close to 10% unemployment. Wages are completely down. Prices for goods and energy and everything else is going up. We have dumbass NASA and these stupid bookworm assholes blowing more and more billions upon billions upon billions of dollars so we can go up and look at a bunch of stars, for Christ's sake. It's just a disgrace. It's disgusting. You know, while we're sitting here, according to the latest report, economists are saying that we're spending close to 60 cents of every dollar that we're printing out here in America, and yet we still have enough money to go out and give to these stupid, four-eyed, freckle-faced nerd jerkasses out here at NASA so they can go out and blast a rocket off into space so they can say, hey, look, that's right there, that's the Orion's belt, and right there, that's where Pluto is. I'm like, give me a break. I mean, the reason I don't give a crap about all this space exploration and all this horse crap is because, what if, okay, I'll even entertain the idea. What if we came across some extraterrestrial beings? Then what? I mean, we don't even like each other, folks. Don't you understand that? Human beings don't even like each other. So what makes you think that we're going to be able to coexist with a whole bunch of, civilization of mutants? Can you answer me that question? I'd like to hear from you if you happen to be one of these kook pipes, that thinks that, we're going to somehow, have a everlasting utopia if we somehow contact E.T. I want to hear from you, 646-652-4869. If you want my personal opinion, folks, I think that we need to cut funding from NASA. I hate NASA. It's the biggest waste of money. And, folks, if you look back at how much money NASA has just completely blown of the American taxpaying dollars, it's a disgrace. It really is. It's just horrible. I hate NASA. I piss on NASA. All right, and that's all there is to it. I mean, I think this money could be used in other places to help build up the country, to help us out of this recession, to help us create some kind of, I don't know, something. But nope, we got to go out there and send a rocket and some cosmonaut to fix the Hubble telescope so we can get better pictures of Uranus. Give me a damn break. 646-652-4869. And I know there's going to be a bunch of bookworms out there and a bunch of idiots that are going to be, I can't believe you're saying that about NASA. Well, the reason I'm saying we need to cut funding from NASA is because I think that this type of exploration should be done in the private sector. Now, I'm telling you, if the government wants to initiate research and development through the granting of certain revenues to the private sector, well, that's one thing. But to sit here and government fund a space program, it just creates a bureaucracy where money is literally burned away. I mean, do you understand the bureaucracy of NASA? Just imagine if you're one of these head bookworms, one of these idiots at the top of the bureaucratic hierarchy. And you can basically go to the government and say, yeah, we're going to work on this new plasma nuclear satellite that's actually going to orbit the atmosphere and the ionosphere of Pluto, and it's actually going to take us $1.7 trillion. But we think it's going to be completely worth it. We could find life. We could all the crap that they tell us about every stupid spacewalk and satellite and all this crap. It is the biggest tax-paying waste of cash ever. So all you NASA fans, go get a life, really. I mean, seriously, get a freaking life. And if you happen to be a NASA scientist, get a job. How about that, asshole? Get a real job in the private sector like everybody else instead of milking the American tax-paying system, you stupid, four-eyed, freckle-faced idiot. Anyway, that's my little rant on NASA. I didn't really appreciate all the boob tube time that was dedicated to this Hubble telescope crap. You even had local news talking about it, for heaven's sake. I don't want to see it. I don't care. I remember one time I was watching the boob tube, and they interrupted television programming because the Mars rover was about to land on Mars or something. Like, we were going to see, E.T. or something. Like, the Alien versus Predator was going to happen on the planet Mars or some kind of crap. And what did they end up showing us on the pictures? A bunch of red rocks. Great. We spent trillions of dollars to send a stupid rover over there just so we can get some pictures of some rocks. Great. Thanks a lot, NASA. Anyway, I'm going to move on to another subject matter. I wanted to talk about the Los Angeles teacher walkout. Apparently, according to some reports and blogs on the internet, in Los Angeles, they are attempting to try to walk out of their classrooms because we all know about the financial troubles that California finds itself in. They can barely withstand to sustain itself, so they got to trim the fat somewhere, and it's gained national attention that Arnold Schwarzenegger is trying to cut funding with the teachers, trying to cut professors, trying to trim the fat in the educational area. And the teachers, they're getting all butthurt about it because, these are all Marxist, Karl Marx worshipers out here. They're getting all butthurt about it because they're not going to get their guaranteed salary for doing absolutely nothing but overpaid babysitting, because that's what basically teachers are nowadays in public education, folks. These people don't work. These people that are in public education right now, they get guaranteed contracts. Yeah, they get guaranteed contracts, and it's not as easy to fire a teacher as many people think out here, People think that, if they have a problem with the teacher or something, that they can just go out there and tell a principal and they're actually going to give a crap. That's not how it works. If these teachers have guaranteed contracts, they literally have to kill a student before they're even considered terminated. And that's no joke. And this is on the taxpayer's bill. All on the taxpayer's dime. Anyway, Schwarzenegger's trying to cut, I think it's like 3,000 teachers' jobs in California, according to reports, I believe. And the teachers in California are getting all butthurt, and they're planning one big, humongous walkout or some crap. It's supposed to happen this Friday as a sign of solidarity. But you know what I say to all those damn Los Angeles teachers? You know what? Go get a real job. All right, go work in the private sector. Stop worshiping Karl Marx and Gloria Steinem. I have no pity for you. I'm glad that you're out of work. I want to see more teachers, more public education teachers out of work. I want to see more of them. Fire them all. I think we need to privatize education. I've said that many times. Then we'd see some true results in students. Then we'd see some true damn products of society that are raised by these schools that'll help us get the hell out of this ignorant rut that we find ourselves in present-day America. I'm serious, folks. I know there's a lot of people that are shocked every time I say that crap, but I'm as serious as a heart attack. I think we need to privatize education. We need to fire every administrator, every school board, every damn teacher, and make them go out there in the private sector and actually work for their living. Actually prove they're a good teacher. Actually prove they give a crap. You Los Angeles teachers out there are a disgrace. And if anyone within the sound of my voice knows any of those stupid, dumb scumbag teachers, you email them this program. You email them this damn program, and you tell them, I'm happy they're getting laid off. They need to all be laid off because they're a disgrace. Public educators are a disgrace. They're the problem. They're the reason our children are a bunch of bumbling idiots. And I blame them all. So all you Los Angeles teachers, Walk out all you want to. You're a disgrace to humanity. You don't care about these children. And as far as I'm concerned, you should all be laid off. You should all be fired. So put that in your stupid little teacher pipe and smoke it. You piece of garbage. Anyway, folks, let me go ahead and go on to another subject matter here. We're going to talk about Social Security here, and let me tell you, the Social Security has come up on the boob tube as a serious issue because according to all the budgets and all the numbers and all this malarkey, there's going to be more people collecting Social Security than there are paying into the system by, 2013 or 2015, something of that nature. But you know what I say, folks? I say, why don't we just get rid of Social Security? How about that? I think it's a disgrace that we have people that are collecting Social Security right now, knowing that the people that are paying for their Social Security are young people that are never, ever, ever going to see that money they pay in taxes. They're never going to see Social Security. And yet, these old people out here in America have no qualms whatsoever continuing to collect that Social Security, even though they're probably well off. They got a great retirement. You know, I mean, they got things going for them. But they're still collecting this Social Security, folks. Now, as far as I'm concerned, I think we just need to get rid of it. Why don't we just scrap the whole damn thing and let the people keep their money? I mean, plain and simple. Why don't we just let the people that are paying into the system keep their damn money? I think that would help stimulate the economy some, don't you think? I mean, when somebody is supposed to make $500 a week, by God, if you get rid of Social Security, they're actually going to collect a pretty good chunk of that $500 they're supposed to make. And I think it's a tragedy that, you got these older people just pompous as hell. You know, not you're talking about, a group of people that don't make any sacrifices. And let me tell you, I am probably encapsulated with this demographic of people, but that makes me have the carte blanche to be that much more critical. I'm talking about the baby boomers. The baby boomers are the biggest inconsiderate pricks on the face of the planet, folks. It's bad enough that the baby boomers are the cause of most of the garbage that has happened within the past 30 years. It's their fault we're in this position, right? And then they have the audacity to sit here and to continue to collect Social Security checks, even though the people that are paying their checks are never, ever going to see that benefit that they were obtaining. They have no care in the world, just as long as they continue to collect that entitlement check, folks. So I strongly advise the government, or anyone out there, if you have any kind of a soul, advocate the abolishing of Social Security. You know, why the hell use it? Why do you need it? I mean, it's stupid. I mean, I think it's a tragedy. I think, it's not fair. It's not fair that the young people, anybody who's under the age of 45 right now, anybody who's under the age of 45 is not going to receive Social Security benefits. Even though you've paid your derriere your whole entire life out of your check, you're not going to see a red cent of it, folks, because it's going to be bankrupt. It's going to be impossible. There's not enough money to go around. There's going to be more people collecting than there are putting in. And it's not going to balance itself out. It's not fair. It's not fair, damn it. Don't you understand that? These young people, I know they're stupid. I know they're dumb. I know they're a little fruity. I know they don't care about much, but it's not fair that you're going to sit here and have them, pay their little beans. Because, frankly, folks, let's be honest, all right? Let's be honest right now. Back in the 80s and the 70s, you can get yourself a job and support your family on a lot of occupations that are no longer in existence anymore. I remember, a couple of weeks ago, I was flipping through the boob tube, and I came across this ridiculous syndicated show of old show, probably back in the early 90s, late 80s, called Saved by the Bell. Saved by the Bell is just some little teeny bopper show that was around. My kids used to watch it back when they were youngins. And let me get to the point here. The point is the character in the show, there's a character named Zach Morris who's the cool kid. Everybody likes him. He's the rich kid, all this crap. Well, the reason Zach Morris is a rich kid in this show, and the reason that he's able to have, the two-story house, and, his dad buys him a nice badass car when he comes up of age and all this crap, the reason Zach Morris is so rich is because his father in the show is a computer salesman. That's right, a computer salesman. Remember those types of jobs, folks? Remember those types of commission jobs and, jobs that used to pay something? These young people out here don't have those opportunities anymore. They're working for $8 an hour, for Christ's sake. There's no commission. I mean, let's just take in consideration, the Zach Morris scenario I was talking about. Zach Morris in this fictitious show, Saved by the Bell, his father is a computer salesman, and that's why Zach Morris is rich in the show. Take a look at how computers are sold now, folks. Have you gone to your nearest Apple store? Have you gone to your nearest Apple store recently? Nothing but a bunch of 16 and 17-year-old $8 an hour punks selling me $3,000 in computer hardware. Do you understand what I'm coming from now, folks? Your children, if you happen to be a baby boomer, your children are suffering because there is no opportunity in America. This is a service industry-based economy. The only thing they can do is go out and be a waiter, go out and be a bartender, go out and be a convenience store clerk, go out and be a hairdresser. I'm not joking, folks. So I think it's a damn shame that these damn baby boomers and all these people that are collecting Social Security, you should be ashamed of yourselves. All of you should be ashamed of yourselves collecting Social Security off the backs of your children, off the backs of your grandchildren. They don't even have the money to pay for your stupid Social Security. Don't you stupid, selfish idiots understand that? These young people are working crap jobs, collecting crap pay, and they're paying for your Social Security. Do you baby boomers have any kind of a heart? Do you care? Do you care at all, you piece of crap? It makes me sick. And of course, you're not going to have any young person talking about this subject matter, folks, because the same baby boomers that are around are the same leftist baby boomer morons that are running Hollywood, that are running the entertainment industry. They've got your kids captivated with all this ridiculous violence and sexual depravity so they can keep their eye off what they should be talking about. And if you're a young person listening to this broadcast, you need to fight. You need to fight. Because you paying Social Security is not fair. And frankly, folks, I hate young people. I don't like them. I think they're, to be completely honest with you, I think that most young people are a bunch of fruity-ass bastards, if you want my personal opinion. But by God, I can't sit here and continue to watch this damn America, these people that are out here collecting Social Security. I cannot continue to watch these people collect this crap while they have their children and their grandchildren paying for their damn Social Security. It's a damn shame, folks. It's a shame and it's a disgrace. Anyway, we're approaching the second hour of True Conservative Radio. I am your host, the man they call Ghost, and we're talking about the Social Security problems that we're supposedly having here in America. And I say, let's just scrap the whole damn program, all right? If you're one of these older people that, you know, depends on Social Security or some kind of crap, hey, tough titty. You had a whole lifetime to save for your damn retirement. Don't live off your kids, you stupid bastards. Anyway, I want to hear from you. 646-652-4869 is the number to call. I want to hear from you. Hey, if you're a baby boomer, if you're one of these ass clowns that think, oh, I deserve Social Security, I mean, you're a disgrace to humanity, I'm telling you. You are a soulless cash whore. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and take a caller here. 111 area code, you're on the air.
Ghost,
hey, what's going on?
Hey, Ghost. I'm sad that you're so upset about this, but did you see my comment in the chat room? I know you can do a show and read simultaneously. I know you have that talent. But I put a comment in there that you don't have to pay Social Security, especially as a business owner. I mean, I would think that's something that you would have known, or your accountant.
No, I'm talking about the young people. I'm not talking about me. I could care less. Look, I'm set for life, or at least the rest of my lifetime. I'm talking about the young people that are out here going out, working these menial ass jobs that are barely paying enough to, you know, come up with some rent money. You know, these $8 an hour, you know, pieces of garbage, and they continue to still have to, you know, get Social Security docked from their checks.
But you can opt out of that. The only thing is if you opt out of paying Social Security, you can never collect it. There's an option for that. You can opt out of paying Social Security. You just can never collect it. So say if you get in an accident a year later and you're 24, you know, or 55 or whatever, then you won't have any Social Security benefits. You'll just be asked out. But you can opt out of that benefit.
Well, I'm not too sure about that. I'm not too sure about what you're saying there.
Talk to an accountant or IRS. Talk to an accountant or the IRS. You can.
The reason I'm saying this is because most of the time the Social Security is docked out of people's checks, you know, regardless. And
right,
secondly, I've had employees who, you know, for whatever reason weren't employed for some time, actually get letters from the Social Security office saying that, hey, if you don't start working a little bit harder, you're not going to collect benefits. Believe it or not, they send those types of letters.
People who are collecting Social Security?
No, I'm talking about somebody who's just a worker, some young man who's, you know, for whatever reason has, you know, been a little non-consistent with his employment history, you know, will get a letter from the Social Security office, and I could probably find one. I think I have an employee who actually showed me one.
I would love if you could, like, maybe cross out their name and see something like that, because I don't think they have that right to
I kid you not, and I will work on trying to get that document, because let me tell you, I read it for firsthand. It was from the Social Security office.
Unless they're trying to collect some child support or something. I mean, I've seen all types of letters threatening people when I was in the military, sending them through AmCross saying, hey, you know, you got to pay. So, I mean, if it's not like some sort of alimony or some sort of child support or something like that, I just can picture just the average person being harassed about working. I mean, that's
let me tell you, the Social Security office is sending these out to people who are not meeting up to, I guess, the potential of what some bureaucrat in the Social Security office thinks that a potential worker should be outputting in labor. I kid you not. I'm going to really get that document. I've seen it firsthand, and I'll try to scan it and see if I can, you know, maybe X out the person's name, or if they're comfortable of doing that. But I'm telling you this.
I love that, because I ask all types of questions, and that's how I know that you don't have to pay Social Security. It's just, you know, most people do because they don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. Like I said, you could get hit by a bus and be like 30. and and you might need that Social Security. So, and plus all these people who collect it as retired or elderly, I think most of them don't give it up because they realize that they probably paid a lot of money in taxes too over the years. I mean, you end up paying a whole lot into the system. They probably want to get their money. I understand that they might not need it, but they put their money in the system, and now they want to collect on it. Most people pay. It's like a big Ponzi scheme in a way.
Yeah, I was going to say, the thing is that they can go ahead and pay into it all they want to. They're just never going to collect it, ever.
You're talking about young people, right?
Yeah, well, I'm talking about anybody who's under the age of 45 is not going to collect Social Security. I mean, even if they're paying into it, that money is gone. And
so,
I think that's unfair.
I spoke to an older gentleman, and he's retired military, and he's still working. He's close to that retirement age, but he still works, and he collects retirement. And he told me that what you're saying right now, because I'm in my 20s, and he's an older gentleman. He said the same thing that they're telling me, like you're telling me right now, is the same thing they told him when he was younger, that there weren't going to be any benefits for him. Now, I'm willing to agree with you possibly, but I don't know the future. I've always
it just came out. It came out earlier this week that by 2015 it's going to go bankrupt.
Right, and I've seen all that stuff, and that's one of the things on, I think it's heritage.org. That's like their favorite topic between that and defense. But so I've seen all that type of stuff, and I understand where you're coming from. And
I just think we need to get rid of it. I think it's a waste of time, a waste of money. I think it encourages people to be complacent, and it gives people the option to be irresponsible with the revenue generated from their labor throughout their whole entire lifetime.
Well, some people, they work their whole life. Maybe they might work at, I don't know, DMV or something, motor vehicle. And they might be able to collect retirement, but maybe the amount of retirement they're collecting, maybe they do need a little bit of supplemental income. And if their whole life they paid for, other people to collect Social Security, why shouldn't they be entitled to what they
Because their children aren't going to have it. And their
right,
children
like
are currently... Their children are currently paying for them. Right now, everybody who's working, everybody who's getting Social Security docked from their check, they are paying for the baby boomers right now. And they are not going to, and they're going to try to, cook the books to where, it'll be okay until 2020. But the bottom line is at some point we're going to have to nip this in the bud and realize that we just need to scrap Social Security altogether. And look, I don't like young people. I think young people are a disgrace to America at this point. But I think it's not fair that we're forcing these young people not only to accept lower wages, not only to accept higher costs of goods, not only to accept lower benefits, but we have to force them to pay for Social Security for older people that don't give a crap about the sacrifices that their children are doing unbeknownst to them. And I think it's a disgrace that they know, the people that are collecting Social Security right now know that the young people are never going to see it, but they're going to continue to collect it because they're a bunch of pompous, selfish, decadent pieces of materialistic garbage.
There's a lot of people who are very elderly or just in a situation of pain or discomfort or whatever that are currently being forced to live, whether they're, in a retirement home, a nursing home, whatever. They're being forced to live. And it's, it's very, very costly treatment when, we could probably save a lot of money on Social Security and Medicare or Medicaid or whatever. If these people had the option to, to have, I guess, assisted suicide to a certain extent, the whole.
Well, I'm not talking about assisted suicide, but hold that thought just a second. We got another caller here from 210. 210, you there?
This is Boogeyman.
How you doing?
I got a question about your Social Security thing. You said it's going to run out. I the one we got here. My dad's like an older guy. He's been hearing that same thing. Social Security's going to run out. He said when he's middle-aged, he said that same story. You know what I I mean?
No,
it's nothing new.
It's going to run out.
Broke, right?
Well,
I asked, when I first heard that, he said no. When he was in his middle age, he said, hey, they said the exact same thing. It's going to go broke.
Well, I mean, it's definitely the reason that they've said it because it was going broke, But all they did was, allocate certain monies that were dedicated to programs or another government bureaucracy and cut that funding and put it right back into Social Security so it can make it look like, oh, okay, well, we're okay for another 10 years. They've been doing that for the past 20 or 30 years, and it's getting to a point where they can't continue doing that anymore. There's going to be more people collecting than there are paying into the system, and it's gonna be a recipe for disaster. I mean, how old are you, by the way, young man?
I'll get my age out.
Well, just
I'm
20s, teens.
All right.
What, 20s? Are you in your 20s?
They're mine.
Are you in your 20s? I mean, what the hell? This isn't, the dating game here.
No, I'm above my 20s, okay?
Okay, well, that's fine.
What's your age?
So, well, I'm old. I'm a hell of a lot older than 20. The thing is that are you happy with paying for Social Security?
Yeah. I like paying taxes. I like paying all my taxes. I enjoy doing it.
you think it's a great thing for America to pay for taxes?
I do. I tell them to take more out than they have to, okay?
With all due respect, sir, you're calling from the 210 area code, and that's San Antonio, Texas.
That is.
I'm willing to bet you money you're collecting in
Wow, San Antonio. Maybe I should meet up with this person.
Hey, I think
I'm in the suburbs out there.
Let me tell you something. San Antonio is the toilet bowl of America, and let me explain why.
Why would you say that?
Well, because I live in the hill country out here by Austin, a little past Austin, Texas. I have businesses all over the state of Texas, and if you go to San Antonio and you go to any store in San Antonio, you're going to see a woman with 5 kids trailing her with a food cart in her hand, buying 6 packs of beer, and it's just running rampant all over San Antonio, Texas.
Okay, because I don't see that. We must say you got in different neighborhoods or something like that, right?
No, I don't think so. I mean, San Antonio has the highest teen pregnancy per capita in the nation. San Antonio has the highest, I think it's the highest entitlement collectors in the state. It's just a disgrace. With all due respect, sir, I know that you're trying to make a big joke saying I pay more taxes than I need to.
I'm not saying pay more taxes. I'm not saying pay more taxes, okay? I'm saying I have the option, okay, in my thing, okay, to what's that called? You can claim head of household, right? There's certain things you can claim, okay? I claim less on a purpose and on an amount, a special reason, okay? Because I know in the end, okay, I'll get the amount back. I know if I don't claim that, I know I'll be paying through my nose, okay, at the end, all right?
So you're admitting to hold on. So you're admitting to tax fraud? Is that what you're telling us here?
No, I'm not admitting tax fraud. I'm trying to say in my situation, I'm kind of about yours, okay? If I just claim all kind of deductions, in the end of the year I start paying them, okay? If I ask them to take more out, okay, and then I get stuff back as a refund, all right? That's how. I don't know about your situation. I'm just telling you about, I know mine, okay, and that works best for me. And I enjoy that.
I don't understand. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Well, you're not in my situation. I'm a blue collar guy. I mean, I don't.
That's what I'm saying. Let me get this straight. You're claiming less when you should be claiming more, and the reason you're claiming less is so that you can get money back. Is that what you're saying? In my situation, you said you're set for life, right? So you got to pay through the nose, right? Look, let's put it this way. I don't have very many years left ahead of me. Let's talk about you for a second. You said you're set for life, right? So no. Hold on. Let me put this idiot on mute because obviously he's a neurotic nut job. But do you see what I'm saying, mentor? This is what I'm talking about here. We have a bunch of idiots out here in America that have no idea what they're talking about. This idiot's admitting to committing tax fraud, and
well, the way he was saying it, it seems like he collects less so that at the end of the year that he'll receive money. Some people do that, like as a savings. The government doesn't mind if you pay more throughout the year. They just mind if you pay less.
I doubt this character is paying more money. I'm willing to bet my life that this idiot is collecting an entitlement. And that's probably the reason why he's on this this little internet radio show attempting to conduct discourse. I'm going to put him back on, and hopefully he's not as neurotic and not as erratic, all right? Stay on the subject matter, all right? If not, put your daddy on the phone or whoever you were talking about earlier, because maybe they'll make a little bit more sense.
Okay.
Are you there, Boogeyman?
You put me on mute, right? God.
Yeah, I put you on. I put you on mute.
You called my city. I'll take a note. You go down. You disgrace my city, okay?
Your
all
city
right? First
sucks.
of all, that's
Your
not
city
cool.
sucks. Your city sucks. It is the colon. It is the colon of America.
Okay? You're a guys that sell taxes, okay? And you say you make a lot of money. If you make a lot of money, you got to pay more, okay? So you're just sick of paying the government.
You're damn right. You are damn right. I'm sick of paying taxes. You are absolutely correct. That's the first thing you got right today. What does he get, Johnny?
All right. So you're because you don't on your situation. Well, I mean, why don't you? I can only tell about my situation, okay? In my situation, if I elect to pay more, I get more back at the end, okay? If I say I don't take no deductions, all okay, I pay them at the end, a little to a point, all right? And that's what works for me. I like paying them. I like getting a little refund back if I can. If I can, that is.
So that's your solution?
It's not fraud. That's not fraud.
No. Let me explain something. Do you have any children?
No, I don't have no kids. I'm single.
Do you live on your own?
Yes, I do.
I doubt that. I doubt that very, very, very doubtedly, because let me tell you something, all right?
Why do you doubt everything I say?
Because if you're making money to the point where you're getting money back, then you ain't making diddly. And if you ain't making diddly, then obviously you're living with Mammy. And that's why you're coming up on here trying to provide discourse when it really doesn't make any sense, with all due respect.
Oh, yeah. First of all, okay, he calls my city a toilet, all right?
I hate San Antonio.
All over because I'm actually making sense, okay? This is in my situation. You're a guy, okay, who's got more money coming out of his ears, who's pissed off because he's got to pay more taxes, right?
You're damn right. I don't want to pay for you losers. I don't want to pay for you losers. I don't want to pay for the idiots in San Antonio. I don't want to pay for the stupid mother in San Antonio or the million of them that are out there who shitted out about 6 kids and they're out here collecting $5,000 in entitlements a month. I don't want to pay for those dish rag whores. I don't want to pay for these poor people. I don't want to pay for them. All right, I'll admit it. I don't care. Now what?
Well, all I know is you're just an angry dude, man. I'm not any of those things you said I am at all. You're stereotyping.
I'm angry. I'm angry because we continue to appease this idea that we need to help people that screwed themselves up. That we need to pussy pamper a bunch of screwed up people because they're.
I'll ask you a question, sir, okay? Just hypothetical, okay? And I know where you come from, okay? Let's make a hypothetical, okay? Just hypothetical, okay? We've got a American citizen, right? He's paid his tax, everything's asked, okay? Down. He served his country in the military, and he's did his patriotic honor. He might have got winded about it, but he's been a good American every way, okay? Now he comes home, okay? And after a few years, okay, whatever, he goes down and he gets in a terrible accident, okay? It's unfortunate, okay? Do you believe that his country is entitled to take care of him until he gets back on his feet, or if he can't work, or do you believe his country should abandon his ass?
Well, first of all, when you serve the military, you're obligated those types of,
I'm just asking a question, that's all.
No, well, I mean, you can't compare the two. You can't compare somebody who fought for their country for some dirty dish rag whore who's turning her uterus into a money machine.
Service-connected benefits. We get service-connected benefits, and then we can also, depending on how severely
I have no. As a matter of fact, if you would have heard earlier, I was getting pissed off that the damn military isn't doing enough for our veterans. All right, and I was telling.
That's my question. You didn't ask my question. It's a simple yes or no question. I mean, you trash me all over the place because I say, hey, I like to help. I'm actually doing more than they ask of me.
Yeah. What do you do for a living, sir? What service do you work in?
None of your business what I do for a living. What do you do for a living?
I'm a business owner. I'm probably paying for you to collect an entitlement check so you can stay up late at night and smoke your reefer.
Why do everybody is collecting
Because first of all, you're living in San Antonio. I mean, anybody who's living in San Antonio is there, reluctantly.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean, it is a cesspool.
I kind of think you got the cesspool. You got the cesspool mouth. I mean, really, you trash San Antonio, okay?
I hate San Antonio. Well, what? Give me one good thing. Give me one good thing about San Antonio.
You remember the Alamo? Remember what that was about?
Yeah, and that was a long time ago, all right? Let's get over it. Now, what else?
Dude, I mean...
What else? What else? What, the Spurs? Man, the Spurs franchise doesn't even want to be there. Now, what else?
Six Flags.
Any guy said...
Six Flags was made in Dallas. Six Flags was made in Dallas.
What's so great about Dallas?
It's a hell of a lot better city than San Antonio. I'll tell you that. There's more economic. There's more. If you'd shut your mouth, I'd tell you. All right, it's got more. It's got more economic. Just shut this idiot up. Hold on, you're on mute, all right? Because you can't stop flapping your stupid. Okay. I'm gonna go to here. Okay. I'm gonna okay. Shut up. Now, the reason that Dallas is so much better, even though I don't live in Dallas, I think Dallas is a lot better than San Antonio, is because you got more economic opportunity out there. The social environment is more diverse. I go to San Antonio often because I own a business out there, unfortunately. But, for the most part, the social environment is pretty much encapsulated to a bunch of lowlifes out in San Antonio. There's only one good part of town out there, and it's not even in the town. You got to go, 10 miles north just so you can find yourself a decent crowd of people to find yourself around. If not, you're going to have a bunch of people, looking at you cross-eyed because you won't buy them a beer or something. San Antonio is a disgrace. Now, I'd like for you, or you, Mentor, since obviously you're in San Antonio too, you just said, I'd like for one of you to give me one.
I'm not exactly in the city, but yes, I'm like, what do you call it, like the suburbs, city, small city close to it. But I have a chiropractor that he used to live in Dallas, and he says the same thing, that he loved it so much there. But he has a job. He's actually prior military. He has a job where it says he gets a lot more job security out there. He in San Antonio versus Dallas, because he used to own a business, and now he makes a certain amount of money, but he doesn't have to pay the overhead. So there are a lot of job opportunities out here too.
Yeah, like what? What? Telemarketing? I mean,
well, I just mentioned what he used to own a business in Dallas. He likes Dallas. His wife has a marketing job. That's one of the reasons he has to stay, because she gets paid really well out here.
Here, let me put Boogeyman back on. Maybe he'll, contribute, something to how San Antonio's the greatest city since sliced bread. Are you there?
Well, thanks. This guy. See, when this guy's got a problem, he mutes you. Okay. He can't leave me out just talking. He wants to say what I say. Okay. You disgrace my city. Okay. Then you say your city's the greatest city in the world. I guess. I mean,
I'm not. The thing about me. First of all, hold on, man. I don't care about any city. I just think San Antonio is a subterranean crap hole. That's all.
Really? What's good? I actually one question. Okay, one question. All right.
What?
You said there's one good part of San Antonio, right? One good part. What part is it?
That's the damn 1604 North Side area. That's it. That's all there is to it. Everything else is a damn crap hole. It would be a great day. What's that?
You can come and visit me. I'm off of 1604.
Well, that's where the last remnants. That's where the last remnants of civility is in that part of town. I mean, that's where my business is. Truth be told about it. I mean, everywhere else you go in the downtown area. You go in the downtown area. It's just a cesspool.
You trash your own town, man.
That's not my town.
That's cool.
That's not my town. Are you kidding me? I live in the hill country. All right, I live where there's some civil people.
You live in the boonies, right? You live in the boonies. That's where you live, in boonies. You live in the boonies.
So, tell us what's so great about your city.
It wouldn't matter what I said you trashed, okay? It wouldn't matter what I said.
I'm just curious, because, I mean, it's filled with a bunch of losers. You can tell everybody in San Antonio I said that. All right, it's filled with a bunch of pathetic losers. If you just walk outside around, anywhere. And look at all the sour scowls on all the bimbos who are dragging around 5 kids in back of them. Look at the sour scowls that are imprinted on the people's faces. Those people in San Antonio are living half dead, and they'd eat you for $1. It's disgusting.
There's quite a variety of food out here. I like it out here. I've lived in plenty of other places, but this place has a great
That's all
variety
they
of
do.
food.
Now, all they do is eat, drink, and have children. That's all they do out there. They contribute nothing to society. It's a waste of space. I'm sorry. I hate that city. I think it's
saying,
disgusting.
okay, I've got a question for you. You're saying all the military bases here are don't contribute, right? All the military bases, there's like 3 of them. They don't contribute, right? That's what you're saying, right?
I mean, what are you? Are you like reading a book, Liberal Agitation 101?
No.
Are you kidding me?
Well, Fort Sam is on the north side. It's a major medical hub.
Yeah, and it's right by it's right by a prostitution street too, if I'm not mistaken.
I'm talking about the military, Fort Sam, all those soldiers and stuff. Okay, all that. Okay, and Randolph.
First of all, they have nothing to do with the city because that's a military federal base. It is a federal base. It has nothing to do with the city.
Yeah, I told you.
It has nothing to do with
what I said, okay.
You have to shut this idiot up. Shut him up, please. Get this idiot off. You see, Mentor, this is what I'm talking about here. This is it. This is America. And this is why our country is going to be flushed down the toilet, is because we have idiots like this actually making our food.
You know what I was thinking about, something you said earlier. You were talking about how we need to fire all the teachers, but what happens when you fire all the teachers? Now you don't have the daycare, as you call it. Now you have a whole bunch of unemployed teachers who are going to, work for $8
We privatize education.
Social Security.
Privatize it. I'll invest in a damn couple of schools. I'll invest in it. Let me tell you something. When they privatize education, I will be one of the first men.
That's what I was talking to you about the last time. What are you going to create your own organization, right?
Well, I mean, let me tell you. First of all, there's a lot of regulation. I've already inquired about opening up a school. A lot of regulation unless you're some religious organization. And I think that they need to loosen those regulations and allow people to, open up their own schools. And the thing about it is they need to eliminate public education so they can make the playing field that much more competitive on the private sector market. And I guarantee you, charter schools need to be erased too. That's a half government funded piece of crap too. It's half government funded. It's crap. We're talking about 100% privatization. I mean, we can still have a stipend.
There's so many kids. There's not going to be a lot of ghosts out there creating schools. We have a huge population, and especially as immigration and all types of stuff.
Do you understand what kind of economic boom this would do to our economy? We would have speculators from everywhere building schools all over the country and trying to create great products for society so that they can up the price on their tuition. It's like any business. They are forced to make sure that these teachers are teaching. They are forced to making sure that these administrators are providing a safe environment for these children to learn in. I mean, this is why we need to privatize education. These public educators, they are guaranteed money. They could literally tell a kid how to, perform fellatio. Listen. Listen. These teachers nowadays have such a cush job that they can tell a young man tell a young woman how to perform fellatio on a young man, and they can still have their job, and they can still be working. I'm not joking.
No, if someone turns in, know that it's not legal. And then also,
I know that it's happened. I know that it's happened. I've seen the stories out there.
I've seen the stories too. That's how they get out, because someone's being arrested.
Well, even when they're arrested, they still are guaranteed pay. They're still guaranteed the contract.
No, they're labeled as a sex offender, and they can no longer teach.
No, I don't think you understand the public education arena. All right,
no, I know what you mean. I know that you're saying that there's a lot of people who don't get caught, right?
No, they can get caught. They literally have to philander around with a kid or kill a kid before they get fired. And I'm not joking. They could curse a kid.
Well, you know what?
They could hit a kid. They could hit a kid and still come back to work next year. They could be
I
suspended
really
the
believe
rest of
that
the
has
year.
a lot to do with there needs to be stronger PTAs. There needs to be,
But don't you understand? No, don't you understand, Mentor? These people don't care. And that's my point.
If a person doesn't care how a teacher treats their child, then there's not much you can do about that situation.
No, there is something you can do about it. There is something you can do about it. You can, No, I'm just saying we can privatize education, and those students who don't want to participate in educational endeavors, well, we can weed those kids out and put them in menial labor, school somewhere so they can learn how to be dishwashers or something.
Well, do you think that there were pedophiles involved with Catholic schools?
Well, that's a whole other different story. I'm not going to sit here and
these are people's private organizations.
But
right?
if you heard me previous, I plainly stated that there is highly bureaucratic regulation around individuals like myself from opening up a private school. But if you're a religious organization, you can do whatever in the blue hell they want. That you can teach whatever the hell they want. So you can't compare privatized education with the bureaucratic system that we have currently. I'm talking about investors, not priests, not clergymen.
So in other words, you're saying that the government will be regulating someone like you.
Well, unfortunately, the government would have to. The government would have to.
What big accomplishment are you going to make if the government is still regulating you heavily?
The government is not going to be regulating. Oh, hold on. They're not going to be regulating anything other than making sure that these students can meet up to a minimal standard.
Well, what are all these standardized tests?
Well, I have no problem with standardized tests. I have no problem with that.
Isn't that the point? Isn't that what the government is trying to do?
They're doing that,
to the point where they're teaching choose a test.
But you don't understand. They're doing that, and yet they're still failing at this. This is why Obama, he's trying to make some initiative for education. This is why he is, promising to fire thousands of teachers and close 3,000 schools. This was a report there this week. Because
there are a lot of teachers who are literally sitting in lunch rooms, break rooms, because they're still hired, they're still on the salary, but they're not literally teaching in a class.
Believe me, I know this.
So,
why do you think?
That's what he's talking about too.
Why do you think I'm saying let's just get rid of all these pieces of crap in the public education system? They don't deserve this type of job security. Nobody does. All right, are you kidding me? While people like you, are you working in the public, arena? Are you?
No, but I do go to some, PTA type of things. I try to.
Well, that's something else. But I'm talking about are you currently being funded?
No, I don't work in the education field. I thought about homeschooling, but I'm kind of like you. I don't really like kids, but I manage.
No, I love kids. I just don't like the young people. I'm talking about anybody who's over the age of 13. I think they're all a bunch of fruity bastards now, in my opinion.
Wow.
I just think
13 to 40.
Yeah, 13 to about 30 right now. Anybody who's 13 to 30, the males in that demographic have been completely emasculated. These males nowadays, it's chic to be looking like Boy George, for heaven's sake.
Well, talk about the founding fathers when they were wearing wigs.
I'm sorry?
The founding fathers, they were walking around wearing wigs.
Well, that's because they still had remnants of the monarchy, and they were trying to rub that crap off. And as you can see, as a couple of presidents down the line there, they finally said this is ridiculous, and we need to focus more on the republic, and that's what happened.
Well, society goes through cycles. History goes through cycles. It's not going to.
We got somebody else here. They got their hand up. Let's see what they got. 267. Hold on, 267. You're on the air.
Yeah, I'm actually just listening.
Are you just listening in?
But I wanted to comment. What exactly? Like, I don't understand the direction of what you're trying to say right now.
What do you mean? What direction I'm trying to say? What are you talking about?
Okay, because it seems, I don't know. Like, I'm just coming in on the show is basically what I'm saying.
Oh, okay. Well, we're just kind of hodgepodging as far as the conversation is concerned because it's got 25 minutes left in the program, but. We're having a disagreement here, obviously, about public education. I've been a long advocate of just completely abolishing public education. It's produced nothing but a bunch of young people that are materialistic, decadent, and more worried about, the latest hairstyle than they are worried about, absorbing information, reading. They're more worried about playing video games. They're becoming obese, fat jelly asses. And it's all because of the public education system and the liberals and the feminists that have hijacked it.
So what do you suggest?
I think we need to privatize the whole damn thing. We just need to take all the current public education real estate and, sell it. Sell it all to, speculators who are going to turn it into shopping malls or apartment complexes or something of that nature so that we can generate some tax revenues instead of, throwing it all away to a bunch of, public educators that are dumbing our kids down. The second thing we need to do...
What about the option of homeschooling? I mean, if people are dissatisfied with public schools, why can't they homeschool? Why can't they start a little business in their house?
Because they're stupid. Do you understand that? And mentor, these people are idiots. I mean, I hate to keep saying that about the American people, but these people don't want to take care of their kids. Why do you think they're dumping them off at school? I mean, why do you think they're dumping them off on after-school programs?
They have to work. We live in a society where you have to work harder than you did before. You have people working under very stressful conditions because you have people these days having to do more than they did before.
And I completely understand. I completely understand, and I completely agree with you. But you should have thought about that before you open your legs and have somebody, spray their sperm on you and have you harvested for the next kid.
Well, we need someone to pay for Social Security. We need these kids to pay for Social Security.
Oh, that's horrible. Come on.
I believe.
Well,
I agree with him.
If it's not the children here, then we'll have to have immigration, and I know you don't like immigration.
I agree with him. I don't think the public school system is good at all. And these young people I'm not that old myself, but these young people under 30 are losing their mind. It's more than just a public school system.
You put us all in one category.
It is the public education system and the entertainment industry, Hollywood. Right. I mean, it's the whole thing. But you have to understand that there's an ideology guiding all this garbage. And it's liberal and feminist nonsense. That's what it is. It's this idea that, it's okay to expose your young people to sexual depravity and violence.
Right.
It'll be all right. They'll take it like, adults. And I mean, it's just a disgusting disgrace. And it's no wonder.
What are you talking about? Are you talking about television?
That's absolutely correct. Television, the school system is absolutely correct.
Television is an option. Television. No one says that a television is plugged into a child's brain.
No. Well, wait a minute. No, I think it's the media. When you turn on your TV, then you open your paper, then you go outside.
Media, television, all that stuff is an option.
Well, I was on a show the other day, and they mentioned something about gay marriage, and I was against that.
Well, you're talking to the gay mentor. I don't know if you know that, but.
Yeah, this is a gay mentor, so she's all for gay marriage.
Well, I don't have nothing. I don't have nothing against gay people, yada yada yada. But the point is, don't force the kids. Once you start forcing the kids and putting an image that you can't go against that type of thinking, then you're actually
forcing what? Are you saying if there's a homosexual theme show on,
definitely
that somehow brainwashing kids?
Something like that. Whether it
how come when I grew up the whole heterosexual thing didn't brainwash me?
No, it wasn't the whole heterosexual. It was the whole how it was, the whole how reality, the whole education, the whole civilized.
It definitely was the whole thing, the whole encapsulated enchilada of the liberal and feminist education.
Well, I'm very grateful for that. I'm very grateful because I don't want people getting huge. I mean,
no, but you don't understand, Mentor. I mean, look, I'm not going to try to debate you personally on whether, you're gay naturally or unnaturally. I mean, because I don't know you. I mean, so I'm not going to make that assumption.
Right.
But I'm going to say this, though, that there is a big correlation with the fact that we started getting risque during the sexual revolution during the mid to late 60s, and then we evolved from that into the programming.
Oh my gosh! Are you
hold on. Let me finish.
Homosexual.
Hold on. Let me
somehow started in the 70s.
No, let me finish here. No, I'm saying there was always homosexuality, but it was a minority. All of a sudden, it has become the majority, and the reason it's become the majority is because it's been an implanted power of suggestion by the education system and the entertainment industry. And we're seeing more and more of it every time we flip on Family Television Hour. I'm even seeing it on Disney Channel.
No, it's just that people have always been gay. They just didn't feel comfortable being open with their sexuality. And I'll tell you why I believe that. When I was in high school, I was openly gay, not like I was, waving flags around, but people knew. And there were a lot of people who did not want to be outed, but people would come up to me, in private and let me know that they were interested. But these were people that you would never suspect. So people don't want, if they feel like there's some sort of stigma associated with it,
but
they're not going to be open.
That's a good point. But let me throw a flip side to that coin. Let me add to that dialectic. Okay, let's say that you weren't there. Now, with the power of suggestion of you being openly gay and having, the ability to go out and, I don't know you, I'm not saying that you did this or didn't do it, but obviously everybody knew what you were. And once everybody knew what you were, all of a sudden, the power of suggestion in neurotic, hyper attention deficit disorder minds of teenagers, they begin to believe, well, I guess it's become okay to just go ahead and do this and do that, and that's why you have women on Girls Gone. No, listen to me. That's why you have women on Girls Gone Wild videos, all up on each other, doing all kinds of lesbian acts, and still going and kissing their boyfriends because they think that somehow this is now socially acceptable behavior, that somehow, participating in some lesbian love affair is not considered cheating or something of that nature.
Right.
And that's the truth. That's a fact.
Well, I can't justify the behavior of Girls Gone Wild.
But the point...
If they want a show like that, if they want the attention, if they want to be in these videos, then, you have people who will stick a ball in their vagina.
But do you understand that this is not something that's always been around, amplified on television and on the internet and in school and radio?
Television existed.
And that's the point, and that's the point, Mentor. Maybe we need to take a step back and say, wait a minute, we're getting a little too decadent. We're getting a little too materialistic.
How about turn off the television? How about if you don't want your kids being exposed to that, then turn off the television?
I'll turn off the television.
Then don't send them to school.
All right, I'll turn off the television. But when I send my kid to school, what about Billy and Tommy and his friends saying, hey, did you hear about this? Did you hear about that? And oh, well, here, let me lend you the videotape and the DVD.
Have them living in a box. Why?
No, wait a minute. That's the liberal, that right there is pure liberal propaganda.
You're telling me
that's pure liberal propaganda.
To express who I am, because you're concerned that maybe your grandchild might see something that I do or the way I am and become that herself.
Like what, for an example? I want to know, because I think that a lot of the hypersexuality is what the problem is, because it's all out. It's too much out in the open. You're free to do what you want to do.
Like hypersexuality. I'm like, I'm a Capricorn. I can't speak for all Capricorns, but I'm a pretty much behind closed door type of person. I'm not a big PDA type of person. So, I don't think that it was me being affectionate towards whomever was my partner at the time that caused other females to come up to me.
Well, that's what I mean. That goes. It's too much out in the open now. That's exactly what I mean.
And that goes for the same for heterosexual couples too. I mean, all this
right.
open sexuality, all this, rubbing up on each other in shopping malls, and it's just ridiculous. It's gone way too far. And I think that, that's why, conservatives need to take a step back and realize that, wait a minute, this is not normal. What we're witnessing in America today, where, we have, casual sexual affairs between, heterosexuals, homosexuals, bisexuals. I mean, it's turned out into a real sick freak show. And I'm not singling anybody out or any group out. I'm saying us as a whole.
You are. You're singling out gay people. You're saying that, that's sick behavior.
I'm saying the heterosexuals too. I mean, these idiots that are out here, thinking that they can just get away with being, sexually provocative, sexually promiscuous.
In that case, you should say too much public display of affection, not.
No, but what you said earlier. What you said earlier only justifies why we have to have these discussions, because what you just said about, well, you need to grow your kid up in a box, that's
I'm
liberals,
but
that's a liberal propaganda, because you see, now that the liberal ideology has, gotten so infested in the minds of America, and we now socially accept not just open homosexuality, but women who just, are single parents with now 14 children. It's okay for a single woman with no job, no car, no house to have a turkey baster stuck up her uterus pipe to get a damn genetic freak show family.
There were families in the 50s that had 11 kids. I mean, it's this
the
whole
difference
is,
the difference is they had a mother and a father that properly raised all those kids.
And you know what? On our last discussion, I talked about that. I said, well, why doesn't the man get a certain type of responsibility for having these kids? Why is it all the woman's fault? If the man,
once again, I hate to keep repeating this, but I believe that, we're living in a day and age where we are just pampering the feminist notion. All right? I mean, to the point where even if you're a man that married a woman and you're a faithful man, a hard-working man that cares about his family, who comes home and finds his woman getting a high hard one by the trucker down the street, and he gets a divorce from her, he is penalized because he walked in on his wife getting the high hard one by somebody else. He's penalized by having the kids taken away from him, because 90% of the time in this feminist society, women get the children, and then they get exposed by this. I'm sorry?
I'm saying, or a woman catches her man cheating on him, and she wants a divorce because she doesn't want to be with someone that can possibly infect her with a disease, or she doesn't want to deal with the whole emotional aspect of her husband cheating on her.
Well, with all due respect, man is in ever pursuit of woman, all right? And once again, we have a thing.
So you're trying to justify the lack of responsibility of a man, but you want to put all the blame on a woman because she had sex with a man.
Absolutely. And I take no shame in that whatsoever. Absolutely. And let me tell you why.
If a woman was married to a husband, and the husband cheats on her, are you telling me that
No. That's not what I'm saying. I think that the husband, to be honest with you, I've advocated on this show that adultery should be jailable offense. All right, so don't say that I'm justifying males cheating on their husband or cheating on their wife.
Or would rather pay child support than to be jailed. I think it's much better for society for him to have to work and pay taxes and then pay for his kids, because of a
absolutely not.
Paying for him.
Absolutely not.
Paying for him to be incarcerated.
Absolutely not. I think it makes perfect sense. I mean, we used to have a law against adultery back in the day until the liberals and feminists took that out. But I think that we still need to have a law, and we need to make sure that if we're
too much. Wait a minute. Now we're talking about government controlling people too much. I mean, this is like big government type of talk to me.
Hey. Well, then what are we going to do? We're just going to sit back now and just watch things happen.
That if you have a child, it is your responsibility to take care of the child, whether you're a man or a woman. It's your responsibility.
I'm just saying this.
You wear rubber every time.
I'm just saying this, all right? There are a lot more women out here that, get the custody of the children based on this feminist notion. And
There's
they use these children.
Want custody of their children.
And hey, you know, that's a sad state of affairs, and it's you know, I'm not going to sit here and make a judgment call on what should happen in that situation, because right now anybody who has a child and they're a man, they are getting the shaft if they are not married to their you know, baby mama, so to speak. I mean, they are getting the shaft. If they happen to be a hard-working man, and, you know, they happen to impregnate some bimbo who just, you know, can't keep her legs
They'll
closed.
impregnate some bimbo.
Let me tell well, I mean, what are we supposed to do? Are we supposed to be just sexual promiscuous deviants out here and just, you know, not find any kind of relationship? Is that what relationships have been boiled down to? Is just, you know,
no, what I'm saying is the complete opposite. Find a meaningful relationship, or if you want to have casual sex with someone you trust, possibly a friend, not
but
just a one-night stand.
You can't have a relationship in modern-day America any longer. And the reason is because the modern-day woman,
I'm in one.
the modern-day woman, well, you know, you're in
and I'm less than 30. I fall in your hate category.
Well, you know, I'm sure it's not hard to get somebody when you're homosexual. But the thing is that in modern-day America, the woman, because of this whole feminist notion, has turned herself into a subliminal prostitute. And now a man, instead of, you know, courting a woman, instead of actually trying to impress a woman on his valor and his loyalty and his romance, oh, no, it's all about how much money he can throw on the table and then what he can buy, this, you know, dish rag whore. And that within itself is going to...
Why is it easier for a homosexual to get someone? What do you mean by that?
Well, I mean, you know, I know that's politically
incorrect. We're supposed to have smaller numbers than heterosexuals, but there's less of them.
I understand that's politically incorrect, but let's be honest, Gay Mentor, you know, if you happen to pass by one of these gay parades, I mean, they're performing oral copulation on each other on the corner.
We're not talking about sex. You can get sex very easily. I mean, there's ads in the paper. What I'm saying is I believe that it takes work to have a meaningful relationship. It takes work and commitment and sacrifice. And I don't think that's easier for anyone. I believe it's the same whether you're gay or heterosexual.
Well, I mean, I agree, but, you know, then again, you know, I'm just talking out of my own biases there. Okay. But frankly, I'm just saying that in today's society, our social landscape has gotten so disarrayed that now a man, you know, and a woman have been somehow forced, and you can hear about this and read about this on the internet. They try to say that they're forced to go to the other side of the homosexual arena because they can't find any significant other, because we have socially implanted in our young people that the women
that's less kids that you have to pay for. If everyone's gay, then that's less kids that you got to pay for your welfare checks, right? Less taxes on you.
Yeah, great logic. But the thing is that we have.
Hey, I'm coming down to your level right now.
The thing is, though, is that you know, I forgot what I was going to say now. Gosh darn it.
You're saying that people are crossing over because they can't tolerate heterosexuals anymore.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, they're crossing over is because they. I mean, they have no other option. I mean, you got males out here, you know, paying for these, you know, stupid dish rag whores that are out here for sale, and, you know, they get screwed up, you know, one too many times. They go and decide to smoke on a pole or two. Same thing with, you know, the females. The females, they get supposedly screwed over by a man and all this crap, and, you know, before you know it, they're diving on the carpet. I mean, that's basically what happened.
For everyone, because I've met some wonderful men that were good friends, and you know, I mean, I would have never had to work again, never lift a finger, and they had no kids. They were very responsible, but that just wasn't my sexuality. I mean, I could have been with these guys, but I could not have been completely monogamous. I could be monogamous with a female, but not with a male.
Well,
but I would have been set. There are great guys out there. It's typically the guys want people like me who really don't care that much for them. And that's just how it is sometimes.
Well, and it's unfortunate that, our social landscape has gotten so messed up that, I don't even know what to say. That's why I do this show. That's why I'm hoping that, people can have some sort of moral integrity with themselves.
Well, I feel bad because whenever you do these shows, you just sound so angry. And at first I thought it was a joke, just to get attention. But, sometimes, I've listened to some of these shows, and you seem very, very serious now. So
I'm dead serious. It's unfortunate.
I just don't understand why you're so, I understand what you're saying. But,
look, I can
let's put it this way. You want to pay, zero taxes now?
No. This is what I'm talking about. I want to help American people, and I'm talking about American people that never collected an entitlement in their life, that, supported their family, that raises their children, that, the good American people. I'm sick of supporting single mothers. I'm sick of supporting drug addicts. I'm sick of supporting homeless people. I'm sick of supporting all these idiots that are in the situation they're in because of their own free will.
What are you going to do? You're going to have them standing out on a corner when you're trying to drive?
I'd say, look, if you're going to collect,
there's always going to be a society full of
if you're going to collect money,
people.
If you're going to collect money from the government, then you should be doing some sort of community service. Then you should be picking up trash for that money. I think that these single mothers that are collecting $5,000 a month because they got 5 kids, I think that they need to go out there and pick up trash, cover graffiti.
Wasn't it during the Clinton years? I'm not sure, but I think it was during the Clinton years that didn't they do that whole welfare?
Well, they did that for a minute, and then that got all revoked, and we're back where we started.
I don't know about that.
You're in San Antonio. I tell you what. You go downtown where, that entitlement office is, all right? And you go up there and ask these females, say, I'm serious. Go out there and ask these females, and just say that you're like some nonprofit left-wing organization or something, and ask them, tell them that you're going to give them more money, but you need some information about them. And ask them how much they collect in entitlements, and you'd be freaking surprised. I'm telling you right now, especially a woman with 5 or 6, 7 kids. As a matter of fact, the last time I was in San Antonio, there was this ridiculous, dumbass commercial for this ridiculous, they're calling it a college now, but it's some technical school called Career Point. And this stupid school has the audacity to sit here and advertise some stupid, useless bimbo who actually shitted out 7 kids, but she went to Career Point, and now she's a secretary.
And now she's trying to work.
Oh, well, thanks to my tax-paying dollars funding her little stupid education.
Pay taxes. Now she doesn't need your tax dollars. She's
not. Now, are you kidding me? Do you think that's how it works? Do you honestly think that now that she's going to get a job, she's not going to collect any more entitlements? Is that what you actually think?
She's working. Maybe she might need more assistance. I don't know. Listen, I don't have any biological kids. I can't speak for the single parent community, okay? But I'm assuming that if she went to school, that she's planning to work. If she's going to work, especially a job, a school called career, you're trying to do something for yourself. It's better than just sitting home.
No, you know what they're doing. I'll tell you what these technical schools do. All right. They use these losers because they already know that they're collecting entitlements anyway. So because they're collecting entitlements and they're uneducated jokes, they have the opportunity to get government grant funding for education. And what they do is they get these people's names and, their information, and they put them through the financial aid system, and they charge the financial aid tax-paying system who supplies, money for these idiots to go to school.
Sounds like Pell Grants and stuff like that.
That's exactly what it is, and they max out.
Same thing as any college.
They max out. Well, at least in college, it's credible school. Career Point.
Well, at least in college, you can have an associate or a bachelor's degree and still not find work.
Well, that's because you decided to get a damn degree in like philosophy or underwater management.
Well, I'm sure a lot of the people on Wall Street who lost their job, aren't saying that.
Well, piss off to those guys because I don't care. They already paid all their money anyway.
There's always something. You know what I mean? I don't knock people who are trying to make an effort in society. I don't knock those type of people.
I knock people who made the wrong decisions, and now I have
early
to pay
in
for
life,
it.
And now they're trying to do something and get themselves together.
On my dime, and on the American taxpayers' dime.
Well, I mean, we live in a great country where, unfortunately, you have to pay quite a bit in taxes. But
absolutely not. I mean, why can't we live in a country?
This is not the most heavily taxed country, though.
Why? Are you kidding me? I mean, if you saw what I pay in taxes, you'd be sick. But let me tell you, the thing about it is, I mean, it'd be a different story if I was paying all these taxes and we truly lived in a good country. But if you look at the social landscape, if you look at all the programs,
Where else are you going to move to? Where are you going to move to?
Let me tell you, I don't know. I mean, I live in Texas right now.
You're not going to Mexico.
I'm living in Texas.
Canada. You're not going to France. So where are you going to go?
I'm living in Texas right now where there's still some conservative people out here. Luckily, I mean, there's still some damn conservatives that are out here, willing to do whatever it takes for their country, their state, and their communities.
Well, San Antonio is in Texas.
Yeah, well, that's the colon of America. We could always annex that off. Anyway, I mean, we're already off the air here, but, I mean, to be serious, I think it's, a disgrace that, an individual like yourself, and we may disagree on, your social issues, but you also have to agree, and most homosexuals have to agree since they don't have children, and, they basically work for themselves, that it's not fair that you have to pay for a dumb bimbo who shitted out a couple of kids. I don't think how...
You know how I look at that? Yes, I don't like to pay a whole lot in taxes. Like I told you, I pay a little extra. I have my own personal accountant who knows the law. He knows how to do deductions the best he can. Yes, I might owe, a little bit or quite a bit or whatever at the end of the year, but I'd rather pay taxes and than to have to worry about homeless people, begging for change every time I hit a stoplight, or I just don't want to see, I just don't want to see trash all over the neighborhood. I don't want to not have cops, work in the area. I don't want to have crappy roads to drive on. I don't want even more people being unemployed. So sometimes you just have to pay for a fairly decent society. No society is going to be perfect, but hell, when I come home, I don't have to deal with anyone else. I don't have to deal with these people.
Well, unfortunately, you do. Every time you go to the store, especially if you live down there in San Antonio, there's nowhere to go where you can find some
I told you I don't
people.
live in San Antonio, but I do live, about 30 minutes away or whatever,
Yeah, it is, it's a horrible piece of garbage out there. But
well,
anyway...
I'm just grateful that... Okay.
No, I was just going to say, I want to thank you. We're off the air here, and I'm sure my, wife out here is probably waiting for me because she knows I usually end the damn program at this time. So I just wanted to see if you had any last words, if you wanted to leave the people there in the archive listening in any last words, because I have got a few
we'll
emails.
Just close it up. We'll just close it up with thegamementor.com.
All right. Well, I thank you for your commentary, and I hope you know that this proves that even though we disagree, and even though I'm a crazy conservative and the big bad wolf and I break stuff and all this crap, if you come to the table with some damn substance or attempt to provide some sort of discourse, I'm going to debate you, and that's why, I've always had you on the phone. I don't ever click you off or anything of that nature, because that's what America should be about. So that's one thing I do appreciate about you, even though I don't appreciate your lifestyle and other things, But that is one thing I do appreciate.
I'll change it for you, okay?
I'll
go to one of those conversion classes.
But I do appreciate that, and you're always welcome to call any time, Mentor.
All right, I'll talk to you later, Ghost.
Thank you very much.
All right, bye-bye.
Well, folks, that was, some serious discourse there. We have gone in and beyond the time allotted for this program. But I thought it was a very intense debate. I'm sure that the folks that are listening in on the archive appreciate it. But, folks, these are issues that need to be discussed, and they need to be discussed seriously. I think that every time that you have a family get-together, whether it's holidays, whether it's somebody's birthday, I think that you need to talk about these issues because, folks, we're getting off keister in society today. I mean, we're going haywire, so to speak, okay? I mean, we're starting to accept 10-year-old girls getting pregnant. We're accepting 8, 7-year-old girls dressing scantily clad because Miley Cyrus says it's okay to do so. We're accepting single parents as the majority of the day, and I can't accept that. I cannot accept this crap. So, folks, I know that at times I get a little jaded on this program. At times I get a little bamboozled. At times I get a little depressed because sometimes I get a little overwhelmed by all the liberalism and feminism that has infested America. It has infested the minds of America. And all of you, every single one of you within the sound of my voice, I want the vibrations of my vocal cords to penetrate your subconscious, and I want it to rattle some synapses in there. I want your brain to spark. I want the light to come on and say, hey, wait a minute, I'm an American, and I love the Constitution, and I'm not going to watch this country being flushed down the tubes. I am going to do something about it. I am going to go out there and show this country I am a true patriot. I love this country like Pat Tillman. That's what every true American conservative should be thinking, folks. We should be good American patriots. We should preserve the Constitution. We need to have discussions about morality. We need to protect our children. We need to protect the rights of the unborn. We need to do this, folks, because of the damn liberals and the feminists had their way. They're going to sit here and infest us with all the damn sexual depravity, the damn violence, the damn inhumane authoritarian crap that they want to shove down our holes. That's what they want to do to us, folks. And don't let them do it, damn it. Don't let them do it. By God, if you're a damn American patriot, if you're a true American patriot, I am talking to you. And if you're just going to sit there on the sidelines and you're just going to sit there and watch all the turbulence around you, well, then you're no good. You're letting everybody down. You're spitting on all the troops that died for your freedom, for your country, you piece of crap. You piece of crap. So I'm going to end it with this. I love this country. Do you? I may not like the people. I may think that the majority of the American public sucks. But I love this country, and I love the Constitution. Do you? Let me tell you something, folks. I understand that it takes a boisterous personality, that it takes a character that can absorb a lot of retribution, a lot of slanderous lies, a lot of character assassination, to be politically vocal, to be a real conservative, to love America. I understand this. So if you want to sit on the sidelines, the very damn least you could do is promote the True Conservative Radio Show. Tell everybody you know about this program, folks. And I'm serious. Tell everybody you know. Go out there on the internet. I need your help, folks. Let me tell you something, folks. This program and all the thousands upon thousands of listeners who listen to me on a consistent basis, the reason that I have such a big listenership is because of word of mouth. Because the listeners have spread the word. And I am asking you, I am extending my hand to you. Please Spread the word about true conservative radio, folks. Go to the blogs. Go to the forums. Go to the chat rooms. Email these shows to the media. Email these shows to people that are in the magazines and the damn newspapers. Email it to everybody. Let everybody know that true conservatism is alive and well. The conservative movement will rise again. And I guarantee you that these damn single mothers that are out here collecting all these entitlements, that day will come to an end. All this decadence, all this materialism, all this crap, all this lack of liberty, this lack of emphasis of Constitution, all this will end one day. But we need your help. The conservative movement needs your help. So go out there and spread the word, spread the word, spread the word about true conservative radio, folks. Let everyone, and I mean everyone, know about this program. Anyway, folks, I want to thank everybody for tuning in with me. I know that this program went a little over 2 hours, but once again, folks, I want to thank you all, whether it's live or in the archive. Thank you very much for listening. Please follow me on Twitter, folks. You can follow me at twitter.com/ghostpolitics. All one word, no underscores. And please add to your favorites and your bookmarks blogtalkradio.com/ghost. Make sure to bookmark that page. Make sure to add it to your favorites, because that's the official homepage of this particular broadcast. Anyway, folks, until next time, thank you for tuning in with me. Long live the conservative movement, and death to feminism.
Boar's Head is bringing a slice of Japan to the deli. Introducing Boar's Head Ichiban Teriyaki-style chicken. Tender, slow-roasted chicken breast, coated in our signature teriyaki glaze, where ginger, garlic, and a hint of brown sugar meet for a flavor that's both sweet and savory. New Boar's Head Ichiban Teriyaki-style chicken. The bold flavor of Japan. Now at the deli. Only from Boar's Head. Compromise elsewhere.